Hi, I'm Dr. Ross, and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial video on abdominal massages utilizing castor oil. Castor oil abdominal massages are perfect for those whose parasympathetic nervous system is underactive, meaning that the body is not in rest and digest mode. It is more in the sympathetic tone. This is the fight or flight, and because the body is not in rest and digest long enough and frequently enough, the body cannot properly heal, cannot break down nutrients and absorb food, and the bowel movements do not move and function properly. When the rest and digest nervous system is underactive, what can happen is the body starts presenting with sluggish bowel movements, also known as constipation, racing heart rate due to low blood pressure, and poor circulation, issues with digestion, so like heartburn and bloating, and POTS related symptoms as well as neurological symptoms like numbness and tingling in the hands and feet. Many people with chronic illness are living in constant stress. So I often use castor oil massages to activate the parasympathetic tone while I'm working on mineral balance, diet and lifestyle modifications, energy healing and emotional health, detoxification, sauna therapy, and more to kind of strengthen the nervous system over time, which can often take months to years depending on the case. In the meantime, we sometimes have to manually move the gut so that we can have proper daily bowel movements. Castor oil is a mild laxative and is very permeable, which means if you place it on the skin, it is very absorbable. In natural medicine, it is used to boost circulation, stimulate blood and nutrients to come to the surface, and it also helps to activate the lymphatic system. So it can soothe the gut, act as a mild laxative instead of taking something internally. Just placing something topically can help to move the bowel function, and it's also bringing blood and warmth and nourishment to that area. So now let's talk about timing. When is the best time to do a castor oil abdominal massage? I personally think at night is going to be the most beneficial because when we first wake up around 5 to 7 a.m., that is known as large intestine time, their circadian rhythm of the large intestine in traditional Chinese medicine. So this is when the body is naturally primed to eliminate. Large intestine in traditional Chinese medicine is known for releasing waste and toxins. It's important for fluid balance, supporting our immune function, and it is known for letting go both emotionally and physically. When the large intestine is weak and stagnant, we could often see dry stools, constipation, skin issues, low immune activity, so getting sick frequently, and even having issues letting go emotionally. Okay, so now let's get started on how to perform a castor oil abdominal massage. Things that you're gonna need are your hands, organic castor oil, and optional is a dry brush. The dry brush is optional, but I do think it is beneficial just at helping to activate the rest and digest parasympathetic tone to help with blood circulation, movement, lymphatic flow. I personally just like to utilize it alongside the castor oil massage. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you're wearing loose fitted clothing. We do not want to have any restriction on the body. You always want to make sure that your hips, you want to go to your hip line. Your hips are exposed because you want to be able to reach the lower quadrants of the abdomen. So I'm first going to do some lymphatic dry brushing in a circular motion in the line of the intestines. So I'm going to show you. Here's my dry brush. And I'm going in circles I'm starting in the right lower quadrant and I'm making my way to the left lower quadrant. It is best to do this for about 7 rounds. With dry brushing, you don't need to really go harsh with dry brushing, but I often always get redness And that's completely normal. But if it is irritating and you have some type of mast cell issue, I recommend skipping the dry brush. Okay, now you want about a half a tablespoon of castor oil. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna rub it over your entire abdomen. I recommend wearing like an old t-shirt or an old pair of pants or something that like you don't care to get castor oil on, because oftentimes you will stain your clothing and it is hard to get it out. So I like to first rub castor oil throughout my entire abdomen. In this whole process, you want to make sure that your abdomen is relaxed and you're not clenching your abs in any way. Just like what we did with the dry brush, we want to start in the left lower quadrant. So this is where the large intestine and small intestine combined at the ileocecal valve. And you really want to make sure that what is ever backed up within the body is being pushed in the right direction. So the intestine goes along the outer of the abdomen. So we're kind of moving in a clockwise direction all the way around. So you want to use a kind of like a medium firm pressure with a little bit of a circular motion to it all the way down. This should not cause any pain. If it is causing pain, I recommend doing a lighter pressure. And oftentimes I also like to incorporate some form of breathing. So taking a deep breath in on the way up and to the side, and then releasing on the way down. And that is also activating the parasympathetic nervous system. Another thing is, as you can see, I'm not going all the way around in a circle. I don't go here and then back. I start from here and I end here. And that's important because this is where the rectum is and this is where we are expelling. So we don't want to move in this direction. We want to move in the direction of the intestines. So I recommend 10 to 15 rounds. Depending on your sensitivity. Let's do about 5 rounds together. Use your fingers in an upward direction to the side and down as well. Whatever feels right for you. I think adding in a mixture of both is great. Another thing that I also like to add in, especially if you're dealing with any bloating, burn, anything in the upper digestive region, doing a myofascial release below the right rib cage. And this is where the pancreatic duct, the gallbladder duct all meet into the small intestine. And sometimes we can have fascia in this area that is extremely tight and kind of impeding the flow of digestive fluids. So oftentimes just adding in a little bit of a massage in this area can be really supportive for digestive flow and juices. So what I recommend is making sure your nails are cut for this one because it can sometimes be painful going underneath the rib. But you want to start kind of like near the center of your rib and go down. And I usually do it on my exhale. So I take a deep breath in and then I push with medium firm pressure into this area. And what I'm doing is I'm just breaking the fascia down. And these are just great ways to kind of warm and bring blood flow to the digestive system. So if you're dealing with chronic illness, I definitely recommend doing this at least once a day. If you are menstruating, I recommend skipping the week of your period. So over time, this will strengthen your parasympathetic tone. It will improve bowel regularity, help with detoxification, and enhance digestion. Subscribe for more on chronic illness, emotional health, energy healing, and anything in between. I'd love to hear from you guys as well, so feel free to leave me a comment, a like, or subscribe. Thank you.